My wife and I used to share everything. Until one night, I noticed she had a second Instagram account. Private. Hidden. I created a fake profile and sent a request. Hours later, she accepted. My stomach dropped as I scrolled. Photos of romantic dinners, love notes. But none of them were with me. That night, I whispered, "Your secret account is beautiful." She gasped as she realized. I knew everything. And her reaction proved. She had no regrets. I never thought I'd be the guy writing one of these posts, but here I am. My name's Jake, and I'm 35. My wife, Laura, is 33. We've been together for 12 years, married for 7. We live in Chicago, in a modest apartment overlooking Lake Michigan. Our relationship was built on trust, or so I believed. Laura and I shared everything. Bank accounts, email passwords, even our social media logins. It was a testament to our openness, or at least that's what I told myself. She worked as a graphic designer for a local firm, and I managed a bookstore downtown. Our routines were predictable, comforting in their familiarity. About 2 months ago, I was lounging on our couch, scrolling through Instagram. Laura was in the shower, her phone charging on the coffee table. A notification popped up, a like from Laura on a photo that didn't appear on her main profile. Curious, I tapped on the username. It led me to a private account under the handle at LJ_adventures. The profile picture was a silhouette of a couple holding hands against a sunset. The bio read, "Exploring life's moments." Confused, I tried to recall if Laura had mentioned creating another account. She hadn't. I sent a follow request from my account. Hours passed without acceptance. That night, as Laura slept beside me, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The next day, during my lunch break, I created a fake Instagram profile. I used the name Chris_Tyler, added some generic photos, and made the account look legitimate. I sent the following request to @LJ_adventures. Within an hour, it was accepted. My heart pounded as I opened the profile. The first photo was of a candlelit dinner at a restaurant I didn't recognize. The caption read, "Another unforgettable night with you." The next image showed a weekend getaway cabin, nestled in the woods. Our little escape, the caption said. Photo after photo depicted romantic scenes. Holding hands across a table, 2 wine glasses clinking, a pair of feet intertwined on a hammock, but the most gut-wrenching part? None of them featured me. One post stopped me cold. It was a picture of a handwritten note on hotel stationery. "Counting down the days until I see you again. Yours forever, M." The comments were filled with heart emojis and replies like, "Can't wait, love." I felt like the floor had been ripped out from under me. My hands trembled as I scrolled through more posts, each one a dagger to my heart. Memories of our own romantic moments flooded back, now tainted by this betrayal. That evening, I couldn't focus. Laura noticed my distraction during dinner. "Jake, are you okay?" she asked, concern etched on her face. I forced a smile. "Just a long day at work." Later that night, as we lay in bed, I turned to her. "Laura," I began, my voice steady. "I came across an interesting Instagram account today." She looked up from her book. "Oh, whose?" "Yours." Her face went pale. "What do you mean?" "@LJ_adventures," I said, watching her reaction closely. She sat up, placing the book on the nightstand. "How did you find that? Does it matter?" I replied. "What matters is what I saw." Tears welled up in her eyes. "Jake, who is M?" I interrupted, my voice rising. She looked away, silent. "How long has this been going on?" I demanded. 6 months, she whispered. I felt a lump in my throat. 6 months, I echoed. "While I've been here, trusting you." "I'm sorry," she said, tears streaming down her face. "Sorry." I laughed bitterly. "For what?" "Getting caught." She shook her head. "No, for hurting you. For betraying our marriage." I stood up, pacing the room. "Who is he?" "Michael," she admitted. "We met at the gym." The gym. The place she started going to almost daily about 6 months ago. It all made sense now, the late workouts, the sudden interest in fitness, the frequent text messages she claimed were from her trainer. "Do you love him?" I asked, dreading the answer. She hesitated, then nodded slowly. "I think so." The room spun. I gripped the edge of the dresser to steady myself. "And what about us? Our marriage? Did that mean nothing to you?" Tears streamed down her face. "I never meant to hurt you. I was unhappy, and I didn't know how to tell you." "Unhappy?" I echoed. "Why didn't you talk to me? We could have worked through it together." She shook her head. "I was scared. Scared of confrontation, scared of admitting my feelings. I stood up, unable to bear the weight of the conversation. I need some air, I muttered, grabbing my jacket and heading for the door. As I walked through our neighborhood, memories of our life together kept flashing in my head like a slideshow I couldn't turn off. I thought about our wedding day, how she looked in that simple ivory dress, how her hands trembled slightly as she slipped the ring on my finger. I thought about the night we moved into this apartment, eating cheap takeout on the floor because our furniture hadn't arrived yet. And now, 6 months of lies had cracked it all. I stayed out that night. I didn't go far. Just parked my car in a 24-hour diner parking lot and sat there, staring out the window. I didn't cry. Not because I didn't want to, but because I felt hollow. When I got home the next morning, Laura was in the kitchen, making coffee like it was just any other day. She looked at me, but didn't speak. I broke the silence. You're still seeing him? She stared at the mug in her hands. I haven't decided what to do. Decided? I snapped. You've already decided. I didn't plan this, Jake. No one plans to wreck their marriage, Laura. She flinched. I'm not proud of what I've done. But you're not sorry either. Not really. She didn't answer. Just walked away. A few days later, I got a message on Facebook. It was from someone named Natalie. I didn't recognize the name, but her profile picture showed a woman about our age. Message preview just said, I think we need to talk. It's about Laura. I clicked. The message was long. Hey Jake, I hope this doesn't come across the wrong way. You don't know me, but I know of you. I found your profile through Laura's. I'm writing because I think you deserve to know the full story. Michael, he's married. He's my husband. I just stared at the screen. I had no idea until last week. I found Laura's secret account too. Michael was careless, left his phone open while showering. I saw the notifications. I clicked. I saw the posts, the dinners, the trips, all of it. He told me he was working late. He told me the gym was helping his stress. He told me he loved me until I saw her name. I know this is probably overwhelming, but if you want to talk, I'm here. Just know you're not alone. I sat there frozen, not just because she messaged, but because she knew everything. And Laura never told me he was married too. That night, I brought it up. Calmly. Natalie messaged me. Laura turned sharply. What? Michael's wife. She found your account too. She knows. Her face went pale. She didn't say a word. You didn't think to tell me he was married? I didn't know at first, she said, weakly. Then I found out. But it was too far in. I didn't want to lose him. And you didn't care about wrecking 2 marriages? I asked. She opened her mouth but said nothing. Just looked at me like a kid caught stealing. Shame, but not enough to change. So now what? I asked. She rubbed her forehead. I honestly don't know. I do, I said. But I didn't. I didn't know what I wanted to do. File for divorce? Try therapy? Keep the peace until we figured out what to do with the apartment? My brain was a war zone. 2 weeks later, Natalie and I met for coffee. It was awkward at first, but weirdly comforting. We weren't strangers. We were casualties of the same bomb. He's still lying, she told me. Said you and Laura broke up months ago. That they just fell in love naturally. He's a real piece of work, I muttered. We talked for over an hour. By the end, it felt like talking to someone who actually got it. She wasn't crazy. She wasn't bitter. She was like me, confused, hurt, furious, all rolled into one. Before we left, she said something I haven't forgotten. I think they liked sneaking around more than they liked each other. That rush, that control, that lie, that hit hard. A week after that, Laura came home late. I didn't ask where she'd been. She sat on the edge of the bed and said, he ended it. I looked up. Michael. She nodded. Said his wife threatened to expose everything. Said he needed to focus on saving his marriage. I didn't say anything. She laughed bitterly. Funny, right? He chose her. After everything he promised. I stared at her. And now what? You want to come back like this never happened? She looked at me, and for the first time, I saw something different in her face. Regret. But not regret for cheating. Regret for getting caught and losing him. I don't know what I want, she said. But I know I don't want to be alone. That told me everything I needed to know. A week passed after Laura told me Michael had dumped her. She stayed around the apartment more, cooking dinner again, asking me if I wanted coffee in the mornings. At first, I ignored it. Then I got suspicious. It wasn't guilt. It was too deliberate, like she was playing a part. And then, one evening, she left her phone face down on the counter while she showered. I stared at it. I swore I wasn't going to be that guy again. But something just felt wrong. And I was right. It wasn't Michael. It was a new name. Aiden. The messages weren't graphic, but they were flirty. New. Fresh. It was clear this wasn't a one-time conversation. She had already shifted gears. Another guy. A new crush. Less than 2 weeks after being dumped. The message that hit hardest? Last night was the first time I laughed in weeks. You're a much better kisser than M. That was the moment something inside me snapped. Not anger. Not heartbreak. Just a wave of clarity. She wasn't heartbroken over Michael. She just needed someone. Anyone. It wasn't love. It was an escape. And she was addicted to it. When she came out of the shower, I was sitting at the table, her phone in front of me. You found it, didn't you? She asked, towel wrapped around her. Yeah. Aiden, I said. She exhaled slowly, like she'd been waiting for this moment. I was trying to move on, she said, almost defensively. You've been so distant. You're still living in my apartment, I said. Eating the food I buy. Sleeping under the roof I pay for. And instead of using that time to reflect, you're already chasing someone else. I'm not chasing. I'm surviving. That line burned. Like what I was doing, waking up every day and pretending not to be destroyed, didn't count as survival. I started packing up her things that night. I didn't ask. I told her she had until the end of the week to find somewhere else. She left the apartment for a while, and I needed a break from the chaos. I opened her laptop to check a shared spreadsheet for bills and budgets. But something caught my eye. An open email tab. Not snooping this time. It was already on the screen. The email was to her sister. Subject line? I told him it ended. It didn't. I stopped breathing for a second. The message? Jake thinks it's over with them. Truth is, we still talk. Just not on Insta. Using Telegram now. He's trying to fix things with his wife, but it's just talk. I don't believe him, but I also don't want to give up yet. I still love him. I think Jake knows something, but he hasn't said a word. I think I can still fix this. With Michael, I mean. Not Jake. Not Jake. I didn't confront her right away. I needed to sit with it. All this time, she was pretending she'd been dumped. Acting like she was crushed. Making it look like she had no one else. So I take her back. So she could hide in my home while working on Plan B. And the worst part? It wasn't even about love anymore. It was about the thrill. She needed drama like oxygen. It was late. I almost didn't answer. But when I saw her name, I picked up. Hey, Jake. I need to tell you something, she said. Her voice was shaky. What's going on? Michael. He's been messaging me, too. Saying he wants to rebuild. Go to therapy. Fix things. I didn't say anything. But tonight, I followed my gut. I checked his phone again. He still had Telegram installed. And guess who I found? I didn't need her to finish the sentence. Laura, I whispered. Yeah, Natalie said. They never stopped. Not even for a second. There was a silence between us, filled with all the things we didn't need to say. I thought you should know, she said finally. Thanks, I told her. She paused. Jake, this isn't your fault. I nodded, even though she couldn't see me. I know. But I didn't know. Not really. All I knew was I had let someone sleep beside me every night, someone who looked me in the eye and lied without a flicker of guilt. The next day, I printed the email, highlighted the key sentence, left it on her pillow. When she came home, she didn't even try to deny it. You weren't supposed to see that, she said. That made me laugh. Still with him. After everything. She crossed her arms. He's the only one who sees me. You mean he's the only one who doesn't know you yet? I fired back. She didn't answer. I want you out. Tonight. I don't have anywhere to go, she said. Call Aiden. Or Michael. Or whoever else is next. She didn't fight. Just packed a bag and left. I watched from the window as she got into an Uber. I didn't know where she was going. I didn't care. But I knew this story wasn't over. Because people like Laura don't just disappear quietly. It was a Saturday afternoon. Sunny, busy, the kind of day bookstores love. I was helping a customer find a novel when I heard the bell on the door chime. I turned. Laura. She looked exhausted. Pale. Her eyes scanned the store until they found me. I need to talk, she said. Not here. I replied, trying to stay calm. I'm working. But she didn't care. You left your ring on the table. People were already starting to look over. I did, I said evenly. That wasn't an accident. I'm sorry. I didn't know where else to go. You could have gone to the people you chose over me. Michael. Aiden. Pick a name. Her voice cracked. I'm not with them. But you were, I said loud enough for nearby customers to hear. More than once. In our home. While I was still wearing that ring. Silence fell over the store like someone had cut the audio on life itself. And then, Natalie walked in. I hadn't seen her since our coffee meeting. She was holding a manila folder. When she saw Laura, she stopped dead. "Oh, perfect," she said, then walked over to us. "Jake," she said, ignoring Laura, "I wanted to drop these off. Screenshots. Emails. Messages. I've compiled everything for the lawyer. In case you decide to press for divorce." Laura stared at her. "Why are you doing this?" "Because I'm tired," Natalie said calmly. "Because watching you keep lying to everyone is exhausting. Jake deserves better. So do I. So does your next victim. I didn't plan for any of this to happen." Laura snapped, her voice shaking. "I was confused. I was hurt. And you decided to deal with that by tearing through 2 marriages like they were wet paper," Natalie replied, dead serious. "You hurt people. You didn't stumble into it. You built it. People were watching. Nobody looked away. It was all too real. Too raw. Maybe I was wrong to come here," Laura muttered, stepping back. "You were wrong way before today," I said. She looked at me one last time. I saw something in her face, maybe regret, maybe just the loss of control she always clung to. Then she turned and left. After she left, I walked to the back of the store and just stood there, leaning against the wall. My legs felt weak. Natalie found me 5 minutes later. "You okay?" she asked. "No, but thanks for that. I didn't expect it." She handed me the folder. "Whether you want to go to court, file for anything, or just burn it, do what gives you peace." "I might just burn it," I said, half smiling. We stood in silence for a while. "You think they'll end up together?" I asked. Natalie shook her head. "They won't. They don't want each other. They just like being wanted." A few weeks passed. Laura officially moved out. I filed for divorce. She didn't fight it. I started seeing a therapist. I started journaling again. I even reconnected with an old friend I hadn't spoken to in years, just to talk about anything but what happened. My biggest takeaway: people lie. Not always with words. Sometimes with silence. Sometimes with what they don't say. I don't hate Laura. I don't even think she's evil. I think she's broken and tried to fill that crack with attention, secrets, and false romance. But I can't be her glue anymore. Some nights, I still wake up thinking I heard the front door open. But there's no one there. And slowly, I'm okay with that. I mailed Laura's last box of things, photos, books, whatever was left in our place. I didn't include a note. She sent a single text when she got it. "Thank you. I hope someday you'll forgive me." I didn't reply. I don't know if I'll ever forgive her. But I do know this. I'm not bitter. I'm not broken. Just learning how to live with the truth. And that might be enough.